how to ask a question in Google Classroom. First, if you pull up the specific class that you want to ask a question, it will come up to the Stream tab by default. In order to ask a question on Google Classroom, you do have to select the Classwork tab. When you press the Classwork tab, this is similarly what should show up. It should just be a list by topic of assignments that you have created or materials that you have posted, including those that are graded, not graded, or ones that are scheduled. In order to create something new, you push the plus icon with the create word next to it, highlighted in blue, and then you're given these 6 options. We would like the question option today in order to ask a question. When you click on this tab, this window will show up, and you will have so many options inside this window. The first thing that we need to do, and actually the only thing that you need to do in order to ask a question, is to type a question. It's typed in this box, and if you notice here, the Ask tab in the top right-hand corner where my cursor is highlighted in blue, meaning that you can go ahead and schedule that question or post that question, and it will appear on the newsfeed of the students. So all that you have to do in order to ask a question is actually type in the question, and nothing else has to be changed. But it's nice if you do change other things. The next option on this is the format of the question. The default is the short answer format where students can type sentences and words. If you use the pull down menu to the right of short answer, it will pull down a menu and you can select multiple choice for your option as well. You are going to have to provide the multiple choice options, and there can be kind of as many of them as you want to. As far as I know, it doesn't limit you. If you get to ridiculous numbers like 100 of them, it may limit you, but I have never run into that before. You just do have to type in your multiple choice options. After that, we have some more options. Just like an announcement or an assignment, you can assign this to multiple classrooms. You can keep the default as just to post it to this classroom, but you can get in and select all of your classrooms. Additionally, with an assignment or an announcement, you can post it to a specific group of students in a singular classroom. Now, if you select multiple classrooms, you're not going to be able to select individual students inside multiple classrooms. You will have to assign it to the entire class if you select multiple classes. There is a point value that you can change it from anywhere from 1 to 100. You can change it to more than that as well, but you can tailor the point value. You also have the option for it to be ungraded, which just means that you're asking them a question for information. It won't go into the grade book. I'm going to leave this as ungraded because it's just information that I'm looking for organization purposes, and there's no grade that needs to be attached to it. After this, the due date, you can select whatever due date after you have assigned this. And when you select a date, the default time that's going to come up is 11:59 that night. So they will have that entire day to complete that assignment, or you can select a very individual time during that day as well. If you want it due by the end of class, you can select the end of the class time. If you want it due by the end of the school day, you can select the end of the school day. If you want to select the most random time possible, you can select minute by minute, whatever time. As you can see, it allowed me to put 2:18 a.m. in here, and it will mark it late at 2:19 a.m. You have the option for topics at this point as well. If you select that red pull-down menu, then you can pick any of the topics that you've already created, and you still have the option to create a new topic at any time you assign something in the classroom as well. So we're going to put this for a Fun Friday question. It's not very fun, but it is due on Friday. If we go back over to the left-hand side of this screen, we can add any document to it. We can add a document from your Google Drive. You can attach a document from your computer. You can attach a link to any website, and you can attach a link to any YouTube videos. You will have all four of those options, but in the question format, you will not be able to attach a Google Drive document or slide or form that they will be able to edit. It will give them the ability to view it, but in no way will they be able to edit it. That's just a difference from the assignment. You can also create a document from this tab as well that will be saved into your Google Drive, but again, they will not have the option to edit that document that you give them. They will just have the option to view it. There's a couple of different options down here on this one that wasn't on the assignment option. The first one is students can reply to each other. That just means that they can interact with each other in some way. For this, that I'm just asking them what is their first Black teacher on A days. They don't need to interact with each other for that. So I'm not going to give them the option to reply to each other. And then students can edit their answer. And that is for just that purpose, so they can go back and change what they have written. And I will give you some extra information on this, that there will always be an option for them to go back and make a comment on the answer that they have given. So if they have said something incorrectly, if they come in here and give you their first Black teacher on B days and they realize that they did that on accident, they can come back and not change the original answer that they gave, but they can make a comment, a private comment that just you'll see on that answer. So if you choose not to let them edit their answer, they will always have the option to put a comment on that, and putting a comment on it won't make it late if it's after the due date as well. Those are all of our options on any question that you can ask. So if we look up in the top right-hand corner, our Ask button is still highlighted in blue, so we can go ahead and ask that question anytime we want to. If we pull down that menu, we do have a few options to just ask it right now. We can schedule it. We can save it as a draft, come back later. And then there's a fourth option that I don't think we've seen so far in these videos, which is discard draft, which means that in the process of me making this video, that it has saved this question because it's been up so long that the Google has automatically saved it for me as a draft. So I can discard that draft altogether and it won't be in my drive anymore. But I'm going to show you what scheduling a question looks like. If you push the schedule button, all it does is bring up a date and a time that you want it to post. Sometimes if you have, selected the wrong day or something, it will give you a warning and not let you schedule. If the question date is after the date that you have it assigned, because it'll automatically just mark everybody late if you do that. So you will have to change it to an appropriate date that you post it previous to the due date that you have indicated. And once you have a date and time in there that is previous to the due date, schedule in the bottom right-hand corner will appear in blue, and it will give you the option to click it. Otherwise, it just won't let you post it. It will make you fix it. After you have posted it and scheduled it for the future, then it will show up like this in your classwork tab. It will be a gray, and it will tell you the time and the date that it is scheduled for. When it posts it on the Google Classroom, it will send you an email at the same time saying that this assignment has posted on Google Classroom and it is live for the students to see it. Now, if you schedule something and you want to come back later and edit it, that is completely possible. If you take your cursor and hover it over this assignment, these three dots that are all the way to the right will give you the option, if you click on it, to edit it. You can change the due date, change the schedule time, change the point value, change the question, change all of that stuff that we just edited, and you can delete it as well, which just eliminates it from being scheduled altogether. That is how to post an assignment on Google Classroom. Thank you.